is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Hello there. Welcome, and thanks for joining us. Hope you had a great Memorial Day weekend. Few movies that certainly had a great Memorial Day weekend. We'll get into that. And a lot more. There's just a ton of stuff today. First, let me tell you about Qualia Senolytic. This is a first-of-its-kind formula, and it's designed to help your body naturally eliminate senescent cells. I believe one of the best aging breakthroughs of the last decade is Qualia Senolytic. And here's why. Qualia Senolytic is at the frontier of what's currently possible right now in the science of human aging. Senolytics are a science field revolutionizing human aging, which is a big culprit behind that middle-age feeling. And one of those big things that is causing this is the zombie cells, they call them. The senescent cells or zombie cells that linger in your body after their useful function. They just waste energy and resources. But let's break it down a little bit. The accumulation of the zombie cells can lead to less energy, slower workout recovery, joint discomfort, and basically just feeling old. Qualia Senolytic is a groundbreaking, clinically tested supplement with 9 vegan plant-derived compounds that help your body naturally eliminate senescent cells, helping you feel years younger in just months. So you just take two days a month, and in fact, that's all you take the pill for, just the 2 days a month. So they really follow the science here. They're not trying to just sell you pills and keep you going and tell you to take these every day for the rest of your life. So you take 2 days a month, you take these pills, and then your body naturally eliminates these zombie cells so that you age better at the cellular level. And Qualia's breakthrough formulation is vegan, it's non-GMO, and tested by leading scientists. Experience the science of feeling younger. Go to qualialife.com/Pat for up to 50% off your purchase, and use the promo code PAT for an additional 15% too. That's QUALIA, qualialife.com/Pat for an extra 15% off your purchase. Your older self will thank you, and thanks to Qualia for sponsoring this segment of the show.
Pat Gray is Unleashed.
So yesterday was obviously Memorial Day, and the president, the vice president, Secretary of Defense.
We gathered today to honor the...
Hang on. They all showed up at, this is the Arlington National Cemetery, the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. Little presentation they did.
Yeah, did they have the walk up there? Is that not the next video we have? Wow. It's been a long weekend.
Oh,
there we go.
And there they are walking up. So they're heading up to the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier.
I mean, just his presence is so much more presidential than anything Biden could ever pull off in a situation like this. I mean, the contrast was so stark.
Yeah, Biden couldn't even make this walk.
No. Pick up his feet.
And he doesn't have to be directed. Right. Nobody's got to pull him around, show him where to go. He knows where to go. He can figure that out.
I love this stuff, man. God bless him.
Yeah. He also placed a wreath at the tomb.
It's the same video, isn't it? Okay.
Is it? Oh,
yeah.
This is still the walk-up.
Do we not have the wreath playing? Maybe we're missing that one. I don't know. It's just all so it's so intense and so moving. Mm-hmm. And if you've ever been there, it's what an experience. And God bless our heroes, man.
It's powerful. Yeah. So hopefully everybody took some time yesterday to remember those who have paid the ultimate sacrifice for us so that the rest of us can live in freedom.
Yeah, and we do have the clip there if you want to play Trump speaking.
We gathered today to honor the incredible service members who rest in glory in this cemetery and burial grounds around the world and in 1,000 lonely places known only to God. In every hour of peril, in every moment of crisis, American warriors have left behind the blessings of home and family to answer their nation's call. They've offered all that they had within them and given their last breaths to each and every one of us that we might live safe and breathe free. This morning we pay tribute to their immortal deeds. We share in the sorrow of their beloved families, and as one nation we give thanks for the ultimate gift they have so selflessly given to all of us. These warriors, and that's what they are, as great, great warriors, picked up their mantle of duty and service, knowing that to live for others meant always that they might die for others. They knew that. They asked nothing for it. They gave everything, and we owe them everything and much, much more.
So, nice speech on a very solemn day. And it was a busy weekend for the president. He was not happy with Russia, with Vladimir Putin lobbing missiles into the Ukrainian capital. This was one of the biggest, I think this was one of their biggest attacks of the entire war. And supposedly they're also massing 50,000 troops at the border, preparing for another massive offensive into Ukraine. And the president posted this. Said, I've always had a very good relationship with Vladimir Putin of Russia, but something has happened to him. He has absolutely gone crazy. He is needlessly killing a lot of people, and I'm not just talking about soldiers. Missiles and drones are being shot into cities in Ukraine for no reason whatsoever. I've always said that he wants all of Ukraine, not just a piece of it, and maybe that's proving to be right. But if he does, it will lead to the downfall of Russia. Likewise, President Zelensky is doing his country no favors by talking the way he does. Everything out of his mouth causes problems. I don't like it, and it better stop. This is a war that would never have started if I were president. This is Zelensky's, Putin's, and Biden's war, not Trump's. I'm only hoping and helping to put out the big and ugly fires that have been started through gross incompetence and hatred. So that's a lot. He's clearly frustrated, and he should be. I mean, he thought he could end this in a day, and obviously that turned out not to be the case.
It was 14 civilians killed there in Kiev, right? And including, I think, several children, if I heard correctly. Just terrible. Man. Now, Russia claims that they did this because they had Putin's helicopter attacked by Ukrainian drones. So I don't know, man. It's just,
who knows?
But that doesn't sound like, especially, we didn't play the audio, but that tweet combined with what Trump said to the cameras over the weekend doesn't sound like there's any kind of Russian collusion that's ever existed between Donald Trump
no, it sure doesn't.
And Vladimir Putin.
No.
In fact, Anna Polina Luna said that whole escapade there cost us, Adam Schiff, $32 million. The whole thing cost for that lie to be propagated by the U.S. Congress and Adam Schiff.
Jeez. You know, and the left continues to hate his guts because he's trying to bring peace to Russia and Ukraine. They don't want peace in Ukraine. They don't want it. For some reason, they are enjoying this war. I mean, how long? How long should this thing keep going? They continue to mock Trump and hate Trump because he's trying to stop it. Should Ukraine fight to the very last man? Do you want them all to die in this thing? Or until their country is completely destroyed? How long do they keep this going? By the way, there is no scenario under which Ukraine wins this war. It's just not, it can't happen. The only scenario, and it's unacceptable, is if U.S. troops are involved. Oof. That's it. I mean, if we fought their fight for them and with them, they could maybe prevail in that particular instance. But that's just not going to happen. We're not going to send troops in. Does anybody want to start a war with Russia?
I guarantee you if Biden or Kamala Harris were still in charge, that's exactly what they would be doing next.
Because that's the only option. If you want to keep this thing going, the only option is to send U.S. troops. Maybe you convince, the entire, all of NATO to go in, but we'd certainly be involved in that. That's the only way this is going to work for them. They should be doing everything they can to bring about peace. Both sides, really. I mean, they've lost over 1 million people in this war, either dead or wounded. It's well over 1 million now, and President Trump continues to lament the 5,000 people every week who die. 5,000 per week. And it's completely acceptable to the left, to the Democrats. They're fine with it. And it's under the guise of, oh, well, Russia won't stop. Well, you don't know the future, first of all. Secondly, just let it keep going indefinitely. When did it change so dramatically that if it saves one life, it would be worth it? Wow, you never hear that from them anymore. That never comes out of their stupid face. But also, the Jake Tapper excuse tour continues with his book about the cover-up of Joe Biden's health while he was president, a cover-up that, of course, Jake Tapper participated in and greatly aided. So now he's questioning the health of Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Really? You've got that kind of nerve where you're going to...
Yeah.
All right.
This guy's unbelievable.
Incredible.
It's cabinet secretaries.
Interesting. How has writing this important book, Investigating the Biden Presidency, Jake, informed you about how to cover the current president?
Well, I just think in general, not Trump specific, but in general, I think that the press corps, and I'm certainly including myself, needs to worry less about politeness when it comes to these health issues.
Okay. Really? Now we do.
Needs to be even more aggressive when it comes to demanding transparency on health issues when it comes to the president. President Trump, while he appears healthy, he has not been transparent about his health records. And I think that that's something that the American people have a right to.
Yeah, he didn't think that 4 years ago. The last 4 years, he's been fine with the president not sharing anything.
Are you seriously going to do this, Jake?
Oh my God, you might want to sit this one out.
Holy crap.
Yeah, that's amazing. The hypocrisy. They don't even care anymore. They're so unself-aware. Wow. And here's Victor Davis Hanson sharing his thoughts about Jake Tapper.
Why didn't Jake Tapper write this a year ago? Because he knows what would have happened. Mm-hmm. Somebody in the White House would have called up and said, Tapper, no one from CNN is going to get a seat at a press conference. There's not going to be any CNN interviews. So he backed down. And now, in a very cowardly fashion, now he comes out and he is blaming the White House cover-up. But what he doesn't tell us is the White House cover-up would have been impossible had not CNN, MSNBC, PBS, NBC, ABC, CBS all conspired with the White House staff to downplay, not just downplay Biden's cognitive decline, but attack people. Bottom line, they had more interest in protecting this left-wing administration who was using this waxen effigy of Joe Biden. And for someone's purposes, we don't know who was running the country, who was giving him the auto pin executive orders. We don't have no idea who those people are. We have a suspicion it was the Obama crowd. But nevertheless, they didn't care about that. They did not care about that. All they knew is that this was a left-wing agenda and it had to be preserved by any means necessary. And that included lying, covering up, and worst of all, demonizing and attacking people who sought to tell the truth about Joe Biden. And now he wants to say what? I have a little humility. I may or not. I sort of kind of was part of the cover-up, but now the real Jake Tapper is in this book who's now telling truth to power. No, you're telling truth to impotence. Joe Biden has got cancer. He's written off. He's in decline. The family is disgraced. It's easy now to write about that. It was hard and would require intellectual courage, moral fortitude to say this when he was the most powerful man in the world. And so, Jake Tapper, you failed that test because this is one of the greatest acts of duplicity, moral duplicity I've seen in my entire life. And it joins a long list of collusion, capers, conspiracy, bogus frauds, ruses. Jake Tapper, you should go back and see what was your position on Russian collusion. What was your position on Hunter laptop disinformation? Mm-hmm. What was your position on the Steele dossier? What was your position on the 51 intelligence authorities? And I think in every one of those cases, you failed the test of truth. And you really did this time in the greatest cover-up in the history, as I said, of the American presidency. And it's not over yet because we're going to learn more and more tragically about Joe Biden's medical condition and to see if not just whether the cognitive disabilities of Biden were cover-up, but whether his prostate metastasized cancer contributed to that, and that source was also covered up.
It's nicely laid out there.
Sure is.
By Victor Davis Hanson. That's really good.
And he's right. We are learning more and more. There's apparently, 5 people that were running the country, none of whom I recognized when I was reading the article. They were making major policy decisions, like they were making major economic decisions without even talking to Secretary Janet Yellen over at Treasury. I mean, it was exactly as bad as
this is worse. This is worse than the Woodrow Wilson thing because there's so much information available now. There's so many ways to disseminate that information. There's just no way you could really cover this up. And they couldn't because we were showing you the results of his disintegration every single day. Like every day there was more evidence of it. They ignored it, but it was there. So this is far worse, I think, than the cover-up of Woodrow Wilson when he was in his coma and his wife was running the country.
Yeah, and don't forget, that's one of the things Dr. Drew Pinsky was saying is that these medications that you put people on for prostate cancer can cause a cognitive decline.
Wow.
And it's almost like that's exactly what was happening.
It's almost like that.
It's almost like
it's
that.
almost like that.
It wasn't just run-of-the-mill dementia. It was aided by this cancer treatment that they refused to tell anybody about. And also, Representative Tim Burchett is saying we should look into the autopin or the pardons.
The signing.
The pardons.
Yeah.
Saying that
because he didn't sign them.
Well, he's saying that there could be some payoffs for these pardons that we need to look into.
So not just the autopen thing.
Correct.
But he was paid to
that these staffers
grant pardons.
Were doing these pardons and getting paid. Might need to be looking into that.
Oh my.
Yeah.
We're going to find out that this was the most scandal-ridden presidency in the history of the United States. And that's saying a lot.
It sure is.
Saying a lot. So, speaking of, we'll get into the bingo squares in just a second. But last week, when the news first broke about Joe Biden's prostate cancer, cartoonist Scott Adams. It's Delbert, right? Is that the cartoon he does?
Yeah.
Delbert, comic strip. He announced that he too has prostate cancer and likely wouldn't make it to the end of the summer. Then late last week, he made another video about a phone call he received.
So yesterday, I'm home, and I've been getting lots of people reaching out because of my recent health-related news, and. But I can't talk to everybody. Like it's just continual messages coming in, and I have to kind of pace myself. So I see a phone number coming in. Somebody's calling me from some number I don't recognize, something in Florida, and I sent it to voicemail. And a little bit later, I thought, I better check that voicemail and see if that was anything I need to deal with. And the first sentence in the transcription, because the phone gives you the text version of the voicemail as well. The first sentence is, "This is your favorite president." And I thought to myself, no. Did I just send the most important person in the world to voicemail? And it turns out that I had. It was Trump. And he was just calling to check in.
Wow.
Now he left a semi-lengthy little voicemail, just saying he was checking on me, heard about my health situation, and then he says, you can call me back on this number. Now, obviously, I don't call him back, right? Because that would just be ridiculous. It just was a nice thing for him to say because he called me. You could call me back on this number. So I didn't call him back on that number because I thought it's not like he's sitting at the Resolute desk waiting for my call. I thought that whatever it is he's doing has got to be more important, than randomly taking a call from me. So I don't call him back. Hours go by. It's the afternoon, same day. It's the afternoon. And all of a sudden another call comes through, also from Florida. And I thought to myself, no way.
And it was, apparently.
It sure was. And
wow.
He said, anything you need.
So the president called him back because he didn't call.
Right.
Wow. That's amazing.
He's so genuine.
Golly.
I mean, you get these stories from everybody. We had the lady on the street there in New York City long before he was in politics.
Things you never hear about.
Never
and
hear.
He didn't mention that at all, that he called Scott Adams, that I'm aware of.
No, and I don't know if it's connected, but I did see a thing where Scott Adams updated, I think yesterday he tweeted or something that where he's gone now from a 0% chance of survival to a 30% chance of survival based on some new treatment. I don't know if that is connected to Trump at all, but yeah, so that's
interesting.
That's a positive development.
Yeah, I hope that works out for him.
For sure.
All right, let me tell you about Jace Medical. As always, Memorial Day comes with all kinds of sales, furniture, appliances, even lawnmowers. But this one from Jace Medical is in a league of its own. It's not about stuff. It's about being prepared when it matters the most. And right now, you can add ivermectin to your Jace case for just $1. That's a prescription medication available as an optional add-on to the Jace case, which is a personal supply of emergency antibiotics that every household should have on hand. And it doesn't stop there. Once you've ordered your first case, you can save $50 on a second one or on the kid case if you're looking to protect the entire family. These aren't the kind of deals that you find in the flyer. They're the kind that you find when you're serious about taking responsibility for your health and your family's well-being. Because in a real emergency, when minutes matter and options are limited, having the right tools in place can make all the difference. So go to jace.com, enter the promo code PAT at checkout to get a discount on your order. That's promo code PAT at jace.com.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
All right. Let's tell you about the bingo squares. I was reminded of this because I did one prematurely. So that didn't count.
Oh.
You can't retroactively do that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think we have to announce it first. Of course, I don't know. The thing is pinned to the top of the page, so maybe we give you that one.
Pat Unleashed on Twitter.
Yep. Yes. It's almost as if. So I've already done that one, so you can cross that one off. It's almost as if. But starting in the upper left-hand corner, I guess continuing in the upper left-hand corner, is me saying, folks. Jeffy then says, you ain't lying. You look like an idiot.
You look like an idiot.
Mm-hmm. Chris mentions some side hustle that he has. He's got 1 million of them. That's almost a free square. And then me saying, that's interesting. Are there any calls, Ivan? That's, of course, based on the Alec Baldwin.
When can we take some calls, Ivan?
Oh, no.
Whenever we want.
Do we have calls that are on there now?
No calls yet. No calls
yet. What number do people call to get on the air, Ivan? Do we have that number?
It's right there.
Right there.
Oh, do I have the call number in front of me? Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
You should. That's interesting.
That's interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Dreadful human being.
Oh, my gosh. Unbelievable. So there's that. Then me saying all that is good, right, and holy. AOC.
Like, whatever.
Keith with
A Bizarro World.
Then we got Pocahontas.
Hold on a sec. I'm going to get me a beer.
Jeffy says, don't bog me down with the facts. I asked my mom
if there's a word for this, and she said there is. Hypocrisy.
Then again, you can cross this one off the list already. It's almost as if.
Okay.
All right. Took care of that. Then me asking Keith, or Jeffy if they're listening to this show. You listening to this show?
Oh, no.
When they're not paying, somebody's not paying attention most of the time. Another isolated incident. Then we've got
China's
General
not
Milley.
an enemy. China's not an enemy.
Okay, there you go. Keith.
My bad.
Greta saying,
How dare you?
yeah. Jeffy with, what are you doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? Not what are you doing? Then the girl actually screams a different word, but we've turned it into fun. So that's why we don't have that actual audio, because she said the other word.
Yeah, it'd just be a beep.
Yeah. Yeah. Then me making a grammar correction on somebody. We got that going for us. Chris correcting Spanish pronunciation. Jeremiah Wright.
America's chickens coming home to roost.
Don't you miss that? Oh, wow. Those were good times, weren't they? Good times. Keith says,
get out my face.
And then me saying, for the children. It's for the children, because I love the children. The 12-year-old boy children, especially.
Okay.
What kind of freak wouldn't love the 12-year-old boy children? Now, not all of that is necessary. What kind of freak would think it is? The only necessary part is for the children. Okay. So, last week, we didn't have the chance to play some clips from Karoline Leavitt at the White House press conferences. One of the interactions she had with a reporter about the miles of crosses in South Africa was worth revisiting. Here's what happened there.
Crosses are representing their lives. Those crosses are representing their lives in the fact that they are now dead, and their government did nothing about it. Are you disputing that there's no...
I'm disputing the fact that the video showed what the president claimed it showed, because it did not show that. But even more, what I'm asking you is who at the White House...
it did show that. It showed white crosses representing people who have perished because of racial persecution.
Verifies the videos that the president shows, and what protocols are in place when there's unsubstantiated information being put out for the world and world leaders to show?
What's unsubstantiated about the video? The video shows crosses that represent the dead bodies of people who were racially persecuted by their government. In fact, the Associated Press, of all places, has a picture of that very monument, and the caption from the Associated Press is, "Each cross marks a white farmer who has been killed in a farm murder." So it is substantiated, not just by that video and the physical evidence that everybody saw on display in the Oval Office, but also by another outlet in this room, the Associated Press. So you should take it up with them if you believe the claim is unsubstantiated, and that's a ridiculous line of questioning. John, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay.
You look like an idiot.
All right. So the reporter was actually, it wasn't just the fact that he said those were grave sites, right? It was that the crosses don't represent dead farmers.
Yeah, I don't know what.
They continue to deny that it's happening at all. Wow. That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. Well, they will not accept that. And it's pretty well substantiated. It's pretty well documented that this has been going on for, I don't know, over a decade, maybe 2 decades. Leavitt also discussed a report from Robert Kennedy at HHS and how the Trump administration wants to make America healthy again.
I would like to emphasize, we held a call earlier today with Secretary Kennedy, Secretary Rollins, Administrator Zeldin, and other officials at Health and Human Services to talk about the gravity of this report. When the president took office, he promised to make this country healthy again. And the president signed an executive order directing this commission. And now, less than 100 days later, the commission is delivering this report. It's another promise made and another promise kept. And the report identifies 4 major factors that are contributing to the rise in childhood chronic disease. Again, this is the first time the federal government has really recognized in a single report that we have a problem in our country. Our children are getting sicker, not healthier. This is not just a crisis, a health crisis, but it poses national security implications as well. And this
let's pause it right there, because we'll get to the 4 after the update here. That's interesting. That's interesting. Is there a number of people can call, Ivan? Talk about that? That's interesting.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
anybody experiencing some difficulties with the audio this morning, I think it would be helpful to close the Blaze app real quick and then reopen it. All right, so it just kind of resets. And we apologize for all the technical snafus lately. I don't know what's going on. There's some kind of, I think the squirrels have gotten tired. They continue, and the gerbil just died. So
had to get a new gerbil.
Had to get a different gerbil.
This one's not as
couple
reliable.
Of squirrels, and they're spinning the wheels as fast as they can. So
can we stop relying on gerbils and hamsters?
No, that would be. I mean, what do you want to upgrade us into the?
Yes, maybe, I don't know.
20th century at least, not the 21st.
It's hard finding a good gerbil these days.
It is, yeah. Gerbils, they're lazy. They're lazy these days. They don't want to spin the wheel anymore. So it's a problem. But we were sharing with you what Karoline Leavitt had to say last week, and there was a couple of things that we didn't get to. And she was just about to tell us the four things that RFK Jr. wants to do to make America healthy again.
It poses national security implications as well, and this administration is focused on ensuring we understand why. The four factors contributing to the report, as you will all hear from the president later, are number one, poor diet, a robust discussion about ultra-processed food that are dominating our children's diets, environmental chemical
and
exposure, plastics and other chemicals that are unfortunately a part of our daily American life. It talks about the lack of physical activity and chronic stress and how technology-driven lifestyles are contributing to the decline of our children's physical and mental health. And then lastly, the report touches on the over-medicalization that's taking place in our American society, nowhere else in the world, but just right here in the United States of America. And the report directs the entire administration to understand why these issues are happening and what public policy can the administration implement to ensure that we are fostering a more healthy country for our children.
There you go. Poor diet, environmental exposure, physical activity, and over-medication.
Yeah. Processed food was one of the things she specifically mentioned. I love processed food.
Oh, no.
It's great. It's delicious. You bring it home and bang, you put it in the microwave for a few seconds. You're ready to go. Yes. I love it.
There's nothing nothing better than eating food that you have 3 years to consume.
Right.
Until the expiration date hits.
Exactly right. Yeah. That's right. And you get all the salt content for the entire year in one fell swoop. So it's great that way. You can really take care of your sodium issues right there.
When am I going to get my Chef Boyardees?
Right. Exactly. I don't know. If they take that away from us, I'll just starve.
I will starve.
Got a couple of tweets here. Giblets tweets, Obama had cash for clunkers. Joe had payola for pardons. Allegedly. The Dutch Mermaid tweets, people screamed that we had never voted for Elon. Meanwhile, we don't even know who was using that pen for Biden for 4 years. Why aren't they screaming about that? Mm-hmm. Such a great question. It's the hypocrisy of the left. It's mind-numbing. Also, speaking of health and what's going on with the MAHA movement, Secretary Kennedy spoke more specifically about government guidelines that will be changing.
We're reducing the dietary guidelines from a 453-page document that we inherited from the Biden administration that was driven by the same industry impulses that put Fruit Loops at the top of the food pyramid. We're going to deliver instead a 4 or 5-page document that tells people how to give healthy food to their children. Those dietary guidelines will then drive changes in the school lunch programs all over this country. We are writing SNAP waivers every day to the states that are applying for them so that sodas and candies are no longer available using food stamps. Taxpayers should not be paying for food-like substances that are chemically based that are poisoning our population.
I can't believe that was even ever allowed.
I know.
Yeah, and what the guidelines are being cut down to like 1% of what they were, from 453 pages to 4 or 5 pages. Wow. I just think he's getting a little bit overreach with the let's go easy on the Fruit Loops, leave them at the top of the food pyramid. They belong there.
Well, they do. Again, processed food. It's delicious. Okay, it's delicious.
And as a person that was in food stamps when we came to Florida for the first time when we moved here, we were not allowed to eat none of that stuff.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's still regulated in some states. I think it is, and some not.
Because I know Florida, it was really strict what you could get and what you could not get.
Yeah. Huh.
Interesting.
So what was the way you? How did you phrase that again?
We weren't allowed.
We weren't allowed to get none of them. We weren't allowed to get none of that. So you were allowed to get some of it. Is that what you're saying?
Is that you correcting my grammar?
Yes,
that's correcting your grammar.
A little bit, yeah. Because I mean that was a double negative. So. Just like when you multiply two negative numbers together, it turns out positive. That's what you just did there. So you were allowed to get some Fruit
Wait, hold
Loops.
up. So English grammar now has mathematics in it
Yes, it does.
too?
Yes. Isn't that something?
Let's learn something new.
We had some sad news over the weekend that touches the Blaze family. Phil Robertson, the patriarch of the Robertson family, and of course Duck Dynasty, just died at 79. So he is going to be greatly missed. Had an incredible life. I just read something this morning about his younger years when he was in college. A lot of people they probably know it by now because it's been covered. But he was a star quarterback at Louisiana Tech. Mm-hmm. You know, you don't think of him that way because, I don't know, he's, the beard. You don't really see the beard on football players a lot because people would use it to tackle you. But in his college, he was a big star quarterback at Louisiana Tech. In fact, he was so good his sophomore and junior year, he beat out Terry Bradshaw.
Yeah.
For starting quarterback.
Isn't that something?
Terry Bradshaw, who went on, of course, to become an NFL Hall of Fame quarterback. Pretty amazing. And the only reason that Terry Bradshaw got into the game eventually was because Phil Robertson quit to become, the Duck Dynasty guy that he later became, the entrepreneur and inventor of the duck call and all of those things. Duck Dynasty.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So he's going to be greatly missed. He also had no hesitation when delivering the message of the gospel.
That's a fact. That is one bold man.
Yep. He was great and completely unashamed, unabashed in his spirituality and led that family in a pretty admirable way. So he'll be greatly missed. Our thoughts and prayers will be with the Robertsons.
And if you want to learn more about him, at the Blaze app, you can purchase The Blind, which is the movie about his life.
Oh, what's it called?
The Blind.
The Blind. Okay.
So just scroll over to the bottom or look for it up, but it's in
on
the app.
Where?
On the Blaze app.
Blaze app.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Awesome. This would be a good time to see that because what a fascinating life he led.
Awesome life.
Really something. Yeah.
Yeah. I saw one clip of him over the weekend where he's like, "Look, if God can use Paul and change his life, and that guy ends up writing the majority of the New Testament, there's a lot of power there, and you can change your life."
Right.
Good stuff, Phil.
And certainly changed his.
Yeah.
So he was pretty clear about that. You know that Fast Growing Trees is the biggest online nursery in the United States of America. They've got thousands of different plants, over 2 million happy customers. They've got any plant that your yard needs. Fruit trees, privacy trees, the flowering kind, shrubs, lots more. Whatever plant you're interested in, Fast Growing Trees has you covered. They got the perfect fit for your climate and your space. Now, I know nothing about the plants that work in this climate, but they do, and they help me choose just the right plant for our area. And they'll do the same thing for you. It'll be beautiful, and it will live, and it gets to your house delivered directly to your door in just a few days. You don't have to leave home at all. They also have an Alive and Thrive guarantee that ensures that your plants get to your house happy and healthy. Plus, you'll get support from the trained plant experts on call to help you plan your landscape. Choose the right plants and learn how to care for them. Fast Growing Trees. They have the best deals for your yard, up to half off on select plants and other deals. And our listeners get 15% off their first purchase when using the promo code PAT at checkout. That's an additional 15% off at fastgrowingtrees.com. Promo code PAT at checkout. Fastgrowingtrees.com. PatPlant.com. Now's the perfect time to plant. And you just use the promo code PAT to save today. Offers valid for a limited time. Terms and conditions may apply.
Yes. Pat Gray continues.
All right. Supreme Court has been debating nationwide injunctions. They're expected to rule within the next couple of weeks. This is going to be big. A clip from a few years ago has been uncovered. It's of liberal justice Elana Kagan, and she apparently wasn't happy about the whole national injunction tool used by judges nationwide back then. Here's what she had to say.
It just can't be right that one district judge can stop a nationwide policy in its tracks and leave it stopped for the years that it takes to go through a normal process.
I asked my mom if there's a word for this, and she said there is. Hypocrisy.
Well, we'll see. Let's see how she votes. She surprises us every 20 or 30 rulings.
Yeah.
Maybe Elana Kagan will come through when,
She has shown that she's capable.
Yeah.
Of
got to pick up the Amy Coney Barrett slack.
Yeah.
Boy.
Yeah. Oh, man.
That's interesting. But, I mean, the judges have been active again all weekend, stopping Trump.
Yeah, they did it again. I forget what the issue was this time. What was it?
It was multiple. They did the South Sudan escorting out of the country illegal aliens. And then the judge is like, you didn't give enough time to pack. And then you got the Harvard.
Yes. Yeah. The $3 billion going somewhere else. The Harvard thing is astounding. They act as if they're flat broke and they absolutely must have those federal dollars or they're going to go belly up as a university. Have you checked your piggy bank there, Harvard? There's $53 billion in their endowment. Use it. Why should we continue to fund that university? Why? It's incredible.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
And the Trump administration just doesn't want people in this country that hate us.
Right.
Wow, that's a tough ask right there. I'm sorry.
That's a tough one. But they're outraged about it because they hate the country. And so why shouldn't foreigners come here and hate the country and try to bring about its downfall? What's the problem?
I like the Trump plan. We'll just use that $3 billion to go to
trade schools.
And
I mean, that's awesome. But they're going out of their minds over it. They act like they don't have a penny to their name. Speaking of judges, as we were moments ago, that immigration judge in Wisconsin who was arrested for helping the illegal alien escape the federal marshals. We've got the video of her.
Yeah, this is interesting.
Aiding the illegal.
Makes it even worse.
It's been released now.
For the first time, we're seeing Judge Hannah Dugan outside her courtroom April 18th wearing her black robes, appearing to confront several federal agents there to arrest Eduardo Flores Ruiz, a Milwaukee man and Mexican national charged locally with 3 counts of domestic battery. This video, released by Milwaukee County through an open records request, is part of the evidence in the case against Judge Dugan, who's charged with obstructing a federal investigation, concealing Flores Ruiz, allowing him to leave her courtroom by a different door after sending the agents to speak to the chief judge.
Unreal.
Flores Ruiz, dressed in black with his attorney, is seen in several of the videos leaving by that other door. One prosecutors say was used by jurors and not open to the public. As he leaves, though, he is seen in the hallway, followed by another agent. As Flores Ruiz gets into the elevator to leave, the agent slips in as well. According to the criminal complaint against Dugan, that agent followed them down. The agent seen here following him out of the building downstairs, and once backup arrived, they tried to arrest Flores Ruiz, who another video shows ran north in front of the courthouse for nearly a block before agents caught up with him and arrested him. Federal agents arrested Dugan herself a week later.
That's so great. I mean, haven't they been screaming, no one is above the law? Well, we didn't mean this. We didn't mean judges and Congress people. We didn't mean that.
Right. No carve out there. One other judicial issue of note that happened while we were away was the Supreme Court deadlocked 4-4 on that Oklahoma religious charter school. So you're not going to get publicly funded religious schools based on that ruling because it goes down to the next lower level court. And it went 4-4 because Amy Coney Barrett recused herself from that. So
why? Did she say why?
I didn't see why. And I think the people are...
What's the conflict there?
What I read, and I have not read from her, was that maybe since she was connected to Notre Dame School of Law, maybe there was like a little Catholic...
Come on,
I don't
please.
know. Right? Again, I haven't seen
she's
from
been
her.
A massive disappointment. Massive.
And I may have that wrong, but that's what I was reading because I haven't heard from her specific on the charter school recusal.
Wow.
Let me see here.
So at least one other.
Yeah, she hasn't given a reason.
That's amazing. It's not amazing.
Ridiculous, man. That is ridiculous, man.
That's it.
I read about it
That's
on the
it.
news. Amy Coney Barrett recused herself from a big religious charter school case.
Last week, the House of Reps passed the big, beautiful bill by the slimmest of margins. It was 415 to, it was 215 to 214.
Yeah, sorry.
So it's headed to the Senate, where several Republicans are pushing back, like Senator Rand Paul of Kentucky, also Ron Johnson of Wisconsin. This was Senator Johnson on it the other day.
I couldn't care less if he's upset. I'm concerned about my children, my grandchildren, and the fact that we are stealing from them. We are stealing from our children and grandchildren. $37 trillion in debt, and we're going to add to it as Republicans? Mm-hmm. That is unacceptable. And that's why there's no way I'm going to vote for this bill in its current form.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Well, you
can lose 3 Republicans.
It's a tough one.
If you lose Rand Paul and Ron Johnson here, I saw a headline, I didn't dig into it, that said Lindsey Graham and Mitch McConnell are also lining up against this. It's going to be tough over in the Senate.
It is. I knew it would be. It was good, but it kind of should. I mean, there's a lot of good in the bill. There really is. But as Johnson mentioned there, as Rand Paul has mentioned, it increases the deficit and the debt a lot. I thought we weren't supposed to do that now. I thought that was really the goal of DOGE was to cut the spending, right? Guess not. 888-900-3393.
I heard it on the news, and I said it was ridiculous, man. That's it.
Pat Gray, Unleashed.
Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
And so are you. Thanks for being here. 888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Let me just take a minute and tell you, literally 60 seconds, to tell you about Kexi cookies, because they are delicious. And Father's Day is just around the corner now. You could still get your dad something absolutely delicious. Kexi cookies. Not a tie. Not socks this year, not some other dress shirt. Cookies from Kexi. You're going to love them. I told you a while ago that we like to go around and check out some of the competition, the best cookie places. And we just went to Disney, to the Gideons, where they sometimes, the line was 35 minutes when we were there. We waited 35 minutes to buy cookies, 8 of them. You can only buy 8.
What?
Yeah, they only allow you to buy 8 because they want to have enough for everybody.
Okay.
And they've got lines continually. Yeah, I know. But these were one of the last few kinds of cookies in the country that we hadn't tried yet. And so we were delighted to find that ours are better than theirs. Theirs are really good, though. They really are. And ours are just better. And we've got this new cookie. It's the s'mores cookie cup. Oh, my gosh. It is so delicious. It's got the marshmallow fluff inside. It's like a s'mores at the campfire, only in a cookie. And it is phenomenal. Ooh. So go to Kexi.com, Kexi, Kexi.com, and order yours today. Father's Day's coming up.
Pat Gray Unleashed is here.
Apparently, another Democrat from Maryland has tried to go visit the Maryland man. It's really beautiful that the Maryland man is still uppermost in their thoughts and their minds, and they're trying to get him out of prison because he's a Maryland man. He's a father.
Thank you.
You know he's a father? He's got 3 children. Leave him alone.
I heard he works with veterans.
He works with veterans. Yes, he does.
I heard he's got a good right hook, too.
A good right hook, according to his wife.
To his wife, yes.
She doesn't say that anymore, but she actually called the police numerous times.
He's good at transporting individuals across the country, too.
Yeah. We've seen that traffic stop.
Guy's got a lot of talent.
Uber?
But there were only 8 in the vehicle with him, so leave him alone. Let him go back to Maryland, would you please? Anyway, this latest goofball is Glenn Ivey, who, well, here's what happened. Is this him in El Salvador?
This is him in El Salvador.
Okay.
I'm the congressman that represents Tomar. I came all the way down from the United States after we'd contacted their ambassador, after we'd made formal requests to our ambassador to the El Salvadoran government. And we came here to visit him today. And now they're telling us we got to go all the way back to El Salvador, to San Salvador to get a permit. That's ridiculous. We ought to have a chance to come in and visit. They knew we were coming. They knew why we were coming. And they know we have the right to do this. So they need to just cut the crap. Let us get in there and have a chance to see him and talk with him. We got his lawyer here. We got somebody from the unions here to talk with him. Let us in. Stop playing games. Let us have a chance to talk with him.
We've got me grandstanding here. I'm grandstanding. Don't they appreciate the fact that I'm grandstanding right now for my constituents back in Maryland? Don't you understand that?
Wait,
they don't care. Okay? They don't care.
Who was the one guy on the right? He goes...
The union.
The union
he goes,
representative.
I got his attorney here, and I got
a
some
union
guy from the union. What the hell?
What? Wait, what?
I got a report. He just landed back in America, and he did not get to see Maryland man.
So he never got in?
He never got in. Not even with a union rep.
Did they tell him? I'd like to know, and he left this part conveniently out. Did they tell you could see him? Did they say, yeah, come on down? No. You know they didn't do that. They said you can't see him. And he came anyway, so we could just cut that video right there and grandstand. On the taxpayers of Maryland, congratulations. He just wasted thousands and thousands of your dollars going back and forth.
That was weird. Yeah, because he said we put the request in with our ambassador. Okay, well, did you hear anything back?
Right. Yeah, what was the outcome of that request? They probably said, no, you can't see him. So we went anyway because he wants to grandstand. I tell you, these people, they give me a rash. They're so irritating.
Oh, no.
I just break out in a rash.
Oh.
I won't show it to you, but
thank you.
Just know it's there.
I mean, do you want to give us any more details about
No,
it?
I really don't.
Okay, good.
I really don't.
Need some ointment?
No, I don't think ointment will help in this particular case.
So wait a minute. If we play more clips of Democrats, does it make your skin itch more?
Yes, it does.
Oh, no.
Yes, it does. Do we have more?
Oh, no.
I think we do.
Oh, no. Is the
wow.
next clip of David Hogg?
Yeah,
Oh, no. Better get your ointment out.
Well, this goes to show what kind of disarray the Democrats are in. It's awesome, really, to watch liberals eat their own. This is one of the vice chairs. I think there's 2, right? David Hogg is one of the vice chairs of the party. And he just had high praise for one of the Democrat Party's congressional representatives.
Jasmine Crockett.
Jasmine Crockett, I love her. She is amazing.
Of course you do.
Yeah. I think that people want to see somebody who fights and calls out the bull. Ultimately, I think that's what Jasmine does, and we need a hell of a lot more people that are out there that are willing to do just that and call people out on their BS and not say, "Oh my God, Republicans are going to criticize me for saying this." Screw that. They're going to criticize you no matter what. So what we should be asking ourselves is, what are we really fighting for? Because we know it matters, and I think Jasmine is frankly the type of leader that we're really looking to support in some senses, right? Somebody who is out there that frankly doesn't give a damn what the other side,
an extremist.
At least the elected Republicans in Congress say what they believe in, and at least even if you don't agree with her, you know what she stands for.
Yeah,
because she makes it very clear. Yeah. And people are really craving that right now. They don't want really more politicians that say talking points that
more
it doesn't
people like
feel
you
like they believe,
who doesn't know what they're talking
really know
about.
What they mean.
Yeah,
they want somebody who's out there that says what they believe and doesn't care what somebody else thinks about it. They want that authenticity.
Yeah.
What's the deal over there, bro?
I don't know. A little bit of an itch right now.
You got an itch? Oh, we played the David Hogg clip, the Flaming Liberal clip, and it made you break out.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
I'm telling you, they give me a rash.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Just looking ahead here on the list. Okay.
Oh, no. And now we've got Andrew Cuomo.
Yeah, he's
running for mayor.
Yeah, he's got a new ad
Oh,
out.
good,
Oh,
good.
no.
This should be like a salve on that, right? Shouldn't it?
Aloe.
Yeah. Here he is.
First, they arrested a liberal judge in Wisconsin.
Trump administration's latest assault on American liberty.
Then a Democratic congresswoman in New Jersey.
Oh, my.
Then they went
Who
after
just
New
didn't do
York's Attorney
anything
General.
except
now they're
assault
attacking
an
Andrew
immigration
Cuomo
official.
to interfere with New York City's election.
Oh, boy.
Why? Because Andrew Cuomo is the last person they want as mayor.
Like they care.
An
Get out of here.
experienced leader who'll stand up to bullies, bring New York back, and deliver for the people of this city. If Donald Trump doesn't want Andrew Cuomo as mayor, you do.
Oh, God, the itch.
Shoot, bro.
God.
I hate that for you.
Man.
I don't know if we should play any more clips. You know?
Well, we got...
I mean, this next one is kind of feels good, actually. It's somebody putting Mayor Brandon Johnson in Chicago in his place.
Oh,
this might
that's
actually
nice.
help you.
The residents of Chicago have
they're
pretty
pissed.
good. They're pretty sick and tired of the
Chicago.
Democrats.
Yeah, and they have this parliamentary system, at least the element of people get to go up there and talk to their face,
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah. And here it is.
Yeah, this is good.
Real Chicagoans woke up this morning relieved that the Department of Justice is finally investigating your race hustle. As someone who grew up on the south side of Chicago, I've heard a lot of race hustlers in my life, trust me. But they were usually marching around outside of City Hall, which is what makes this so embarrassing and dangerous.
Wow.
Very, very dangerous to the city of Chicago.
Okay, we need the question.
We need the question.
I'm more than happy to ask this question. It's long overdue. For over a year, real Chicagoans, white and black, have been telling me that your black power rhetoric is bringing the city backwards.
Right.
From a place that
We need the question.
had overcome.
We need the
Need the
question.
Want the question?
Please.
When will it stop?
Real Chicagoans want to know, why are you a racist?
Well,
man.
first of all, I reject the idea and the premise that somehow that's an actual legitimate question.
Do you?
Oh, good answer.
All right, we're going to go to the next one. Alice?
The next question, my follow-up question is
Why won't you
a
admit you're a
businessman,
racist?
Robert Gomez, had his riverfront
Listen to this.
restaurant license yanked. You said that the reason you hire black people is because they're the most generous race on the planet. His riverfront restaurant license was yanked and given to a black restaurateur. That has, once again, reinforced the belief among real Chicagoans, white and black,
We need
and
the
Mexican,
question.
that you are a racist. What do you say to those people?
Again, I reject the premise that somehow that your question has any legitimacy. Thank you for your time.
Wow.
Okay.
Oh, man. These people are despicable.
Yep.
And this guy's unabashedly, I mean, he's proud of the fact that he only hires blacks in key positions in Chicago. He brags about it, but that's not racist. It's just that he's hiring generous people, the most generous people in the world. Okay, that's kind of a generalization, which seems to lend itself to racism.
Walked right into that
one. So, yeah.
I reject that question, Pat.
Weird. It's illegitimate. It's an illegitimate statement. Illinois is just a mess in general. Here's a woman at a school board meeting in Naperville, Illinois, praising the school district's policy on allowing boys to compete in girls' sports.
Praising this policy.
And I'm a parent of 2 District 203 students, one at Lincoln and one at
Of
Central.
course, look at the rainbow thing.
Today, I speak to you in support of transgendered students
Oh, good
and
for you.
transgendered student athletes.
Unreal.
I am proud to live in a state that
Are you?
protects a student's right to participate in sports that align with their
Against-
gender identity. I thank you for supporting and following
Cannot
this
take
law.
it.
Other parties will tell you that they
flags.
believe this is a disservice to our cisgendered students and especially our female athletes.
Yeah.
As the parent of 2 students in the district and as a woman, I reject the notion that allowing transgendered athletes to participate in sports is detrimental to our students. Losing a race is disappointing.
Listen to this.
It is okay for our students to experience disappointment.
Yeah.
Wow.
We cannot protect our children from all the
Not the
disappointments
trans.
in life.
Pause it for a second.
But
It's not okay for the trans students to experience disappointment in not being allowed to compete against girls. But it's okay for the girls to be disappointed losing to these boys.
Yep. I mean, this chick
So that part
sick.
is okay. This is pathetic.
It's sick, man. And
embarrassing.
How odd that the first time you hear a liberal say that it's okay if kids lose a game,
right.
Or it's okay if there's disappointment in your life.
Yes.
Well, hold on. Almost.
Wow.
Like you just said. I mean, these people are sick. They're mental, man.
All right, let's see if we can get through this.
But we can encourage them to develop resilience. This growth mindset will benefit them in numerous situations.
Wow.
Wow. Okay. Well, I mean, this is happening all over the place, and it's perfectly acceptable to these morons. Leah Rose took home first place in the varsity high jump competition recently at an Oregon high school meet. Just 2 years after finishing last while competing against junior varsity boys. Okay, so it's okay for these girls in the high jump competition in Oregon to experience that disappointment of losing to this male. Jeez. When Rose won the high jump at the Portland Interscholastic League varsity relays in a video featuring his athletic prowess, somebody in the crowd yells, "That's a boy!" And of course, that person is persona non grata now and probably has been canceled in that area. Anna Caldas, another transgender athlete, has also been dominating female competitions this year. Most recently, the trans swimmer destroyed his female competition while winning 5 races at a national championship meet. This is the one who is competing in the 50 and 100-yard breaststroke and won those races by over 4 seconds. That is a huge margin in swimming in a distance like 50 meters, 100 meters. That's incredible. In the Blaze story, Andrew Chapados notes, his real name is Hugo, by the way. This is a guy who's just joining an older women's swimming category and just dominating them. 45-year-old to 50-year-old women's swimming category. And this guy shows up and just dominates these women. That's fine. Don't worry about it. Little disappointment on the women. Never hurt anybody. Last year, transgender student Ada Gallagher finished in first place in the 200 meters, 400-meter races during the 6A1 Portland Interscholastic League Championships. A lot of this going on in Oregon. You notice? And while many were outraged over the wins, Gallagher was back this year at his Oregon high school to win again. This year, the trans athlete finished more than 7 seconds better than the rest of the field. You know how big a margin that is in a 200-meter or 400-meter race? 7 seconds? Wow. You've almost lapped the competition. That's incredible. And people just don't want to hear about it. People like this woman who was testifying at the school board meeting. It's pathetic.
It helps students build resilience. I'm sorry.
Oh, right. That's what it does.
Stuff.
That's what it's. The disappointment's good for them.
Yep.
It's good for them. Let's see. Last weekend, Jurupa Valley High School's Ab Hernandez competed against girls in the high jump, triple jump, and long jump in Ventura County. These were the CIF Southern Section Finals, and Hernandez took first place in girls triple jump with a distance of 41 feet 4 inches. The jump was more than, get this, 4 feet further, not 4 inches, 4 feet further than the second place finisher. 4 feet in a triple jump.
This is a bizarro world, man.
And it's fine because the rest of them, I guess the girls just need to get used to disappointment.
Yeah.
And if you lose out on a scholarship because somebody beat you so badly by 4 feet in a track meet. Don't worry about it. Just pay for your own school. Wait, you're not supposed to, according to liberals, pay for school because that should be given to you for free.
Yeah. Okay.
Jeez. Former NCAA swimmer Paula Scanlon said that Hernandez's victory is just another example of males taking opportunities away from females. Yeah, well, get used to the disappointment.
Right.
I mean, stop your whining.
Suck it up.
This is perfectly acceptable. Oof. Over the weekend, The Last Rodeo debuted. It actually started on Thursday, and hopefully you got a chance to see it. The theaters were packed this weekend because of Lilo and Stitch and Mission Impossible Final Reckoning, who they took, I don't know, $12 billion between the two of them or whatever. I think it was $12 billion in the first day. I think it's up to like $38 billion now or something. But The Last Rodeo did really well.
Did really well.
I think 5.6 million or something. Took 5th or 6th for the weekend. It's from Angel Studios. That's the team behind The King of Kings, Homestead, and Sound of Freedom. And it's called The Last Rodeo, action-packed story that shares the story of Joe Wainwright, who played by Neil McDonough, an aging retired champion bull rider, and his daughter, Sally, who face a crisis that can only be solved by Joe entering and winning a bull riding competition. Despite strained relations with his strong-willed daughter, he has to confront his demons and consider the greatest sacrifice for his family. I loved this movie. Chris loved this movie. It's just really good. I think you're really gonna love it. Tickets are on sale right now. You can go to angel.com/unleashed and get your tickets. It's in theaters. Again, right now, get your tickets, take your family, and see this summer movie. Angel.com/unleashed. That's angel.com/unleashed for The Last Rodeo.
Follow Pat on X at Pat Unleashed. Pat Gray Unleashed returns right after this.
Welcome to it. 888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter. People are wondering, when are you going to talk about BYU? What are you going to say? Are you ducking it?
You better hurry up, Pat. I'm tired of saying it's on the docket. It's on the docket. Can you please talk about BYU?
Little problem there. In fact, a big problem there. Seriously. Starting quarterback from last year and was going to be again this year is accused in a civil lawsuit of raping a woman. So, yeah, really bad and quite ugly. I doubt that he'll ever see the field again for BYU. I don't know what he's going to do now because even if it was consensual sex that he had, then that still goes against the honor code, and he'd have to be suspended then too. So his career is probably over at BYU. Now, why is it a civil suit instead of criminal? The Provo Police Department said there was no actionable evidence against him. So I don't know. It's a bad situation though. I just read over the weekend that they've known each other since they were in their childhood. Kind of weird.
Oh wow.
Kind of strange. And then so she must have known him. But there's also some kind of situation where she's going to name 50 people who should have told her what he was like.
What?
I don't know. It's just a really weird story.
That's wow. That is interesting.
Yeah, and it's a civil suit. Again, it's not criminal. But at BYU that won't matter.
That's an honor code, right?
Honor code. Yeah. So the honor code is in place to keep you safe and to avoid things like this. And when you violate it, things like this happen. So whether it's true or not that he forced himself on her, I don't know. It's not going to matter for his football career, probably.
Has he said anything publicly?
No. His lawyer has said, his lawyer's words were, the story that she told was factually false. Kind of a weird way to put it.
Yeah, I was going to say.
But factually
People don't use the word lie anymore.
I know.
It's like, can you just say she's lying?
It made it sound to me like it was consensual. And, that helps him legally. That doesn't help him play again at BYU. So, I don't know. It's bad. It's bad for her. It's bad for him. It's bad for BYU football. It's bad for their image. I hate it. But what are you going to do? People are people. And that's our BY Jew, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's Jewish. And that's a big thing. And everybody celebrated him for being Jewish at BYU. I think there were 3 of them in the entire school of 35,000 kids. So
down to 2?
Yeah, probably down to 2, I would imagine. But they haven't said. BYU hasn't said. There's Title IX restrictions on. Yeah, so nobody knows whether he's going to play or not. My guess is he will not. I think he's probably done at BYU. Also, over the weekend, did you see Mission Impossible? I saw it.
I went to Lilo and Stitch.
Oh yeah? Did you like Lilo and Stitch?
I loved it.
You loved it. Okay, I've heard that from several people.
I mean, it got more than twice as much money as Mission Impossible.
Yeah, made $183 million over the weekend. Mission Impossible did really well. $77 million. That's the most any of those movies has made.
Wow.
So, pretty big opening. Keith didn't like it.
Nope. What?
Did not like it. I did. I liked it. I didn't love it, but I liked it.
I rank it 7th among the 8 Mission Impossible movies.
Only underwhelmed by number 2.
Number 2 was...
I knew you were going to say number 2.
Film project.
All right, more coming up.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Welcome. Yeah. Great to have you with us. 888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Wow. Yeah, it's still so much to get to. I'm just trying to decipher which to do and what. We got to play the Emmanuel Macron thing because what a weird situation that is. Macron and his wife are apparently involved in some sort of spat here, and we get a quick peek at it. Look at this. Watch.
Hey, whoa.
That's his wife pushing him with both hands, pushing his face away from her.
Boys,
on this plane.
Stop fighting on the plane. Look at
there she goes.
Boy, he was stunned.
Now they say, we were goofing around.
Just joshing with him.
Were ya? Look at the expression on his face. Do we have the slow motion version?
Yeah, play the next version of this.
Let's see that. Look at that.
Then he sees all the cameras and he's just like,
oh crap.
Hi.
No, boy. Now he's saying to her, they saw that? Thanks a lot, Brigitte, or whatever your name is. Old woman.
Old woman, yes.
Wow. Not good. The expression on his face, that they were not goofing around.
That was not playful.
No, not at all.
What do you guys think? What's your theory?
That she's a man? Yes.
Well, yeah, we know that.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Well, we don't know that, but we know
the theory of this. I misunderstood the request.
Because I say he either forgot to share his cocaine with her.
Okay.
Or
he got caught in the bathroom with someone he was not supposed to be in the bathroom with.
The stewardess that was in the same video. Play the video again because it's interesting that you said that about the cocaine. Because, we had the thing on the train, right? And it was a tissue.
That wasn't cocaine.
Right?
Yeah.
But watch this. Keep watching because he does wipe his nose when he shows up.
Does he?
Not in this shot. See, the stewardess chick's got to get out of there because she's going to get hit by Brigitte too. Yep, I got to go.
Okay.
See how he's wiping his nose? He comes around the corner.
See that. Yep.
He forgot to share.
Yep.
Okay.
And then here
he tries to.
And now they're fine. Everything's fine. We were just goofing around. Come on.
He tries to wait for her hand. Nope. Okay.
Nope. Yeah. Oh, she is pissed.
She's pissed
about something. That's pretty interesting.
And this was in Vietnam. So
really?
Why did the French return to Vietnam after, you know what I'm saying? Like, because that didn't go down so well for them in the 60s.
Or us.
Or us, for that matter.
Anybody who got enmeshed in that nightmare.
I wonder what that trip was about.
I don't know. Did you see the big deal they're making out of a business deal that President Trump's sons are doing in Vietnam? They're building a big development in Hanoi, and the Vietnamese are really excited about it. They're psyched, but people are pissed because apparently, but the president's not doing it; his sons are. So,
and that's what the Macrons were there for, a $10 billion
deal
between France and Vietnam.
Okay, so they've got some kind of business thing going too. Vietnam is kind of thriving right now. They're manufacturing a lot of goods and sending it to us. So we're pretty big customers of the Vietnamese. So they got pretty good relations with them right now.
Wow, there's the last sentence in this article about that visit. France and Vietnam share a comprehensive strategic partnership, Vietnam's highest diplomatic status, also held with Russia, China, and the U.S. So when it comes to their highest diplomatic relations, Vietnam's four chief allies, Russia, China, France, and the U.S.
Interesting. Wow.
Boy, they're covering everything.
Yeah, that is interesting. I was reading an article about how hard it is to, because there are people who are trying to only buy made in America now. And it's really, really hard to do that. Diana Huff has been on a decades-long quest to buy only made in America goods. It's worked for things like sheets, socks, and sofas. But for other things, like her phone, glasses, and weed whacker, it's next to impossible. She recalls crawling inside her fridge in search of a manufacturer's label, only to see the tiny words, made in Mexico, and returning a bathroom scale because despite assurance that the company made products in its U.S. facilities, it didn't. She says it's been a real journey that's come with frustrations and misadventures. A lot of Americans say they want to buy domestic products, but global supply chains built over decades of outsourcing have made it challenging. No matter how committed these shoppers are, some products just aren't made in the USA. Almost half of new passenger vehicles sold in the U.S. in 2024 were assembled outside the country, according to data from S&P Global Mobility, and nearly all of the smartphones sold in the U.S. are made overseas. We know that's true, especially with Apple's deal with China. It's all made there. You know, as a small business owner, our cookie company, a month or so ago, I mentioned the issues that we were having with American box making companies. Because we make these boxes, and they look like this. Okay, some of them look like that. So we need these boxes in this size and the bigger size if it's 12. And I mentioned that we were having issues with the American box making companies that we were trying to work with. And because we were small, really small, the U.S. companies that we were working with just didn't seem to want our business.
Wow.
When they didn't get our boxes right, my son Sean complained to them. And they were like, well, sucks to be you. I mean, that's about what we were told.
Wow.
We're not all that interested in your business anyway. I mean, one guy said almost exactly those words to Sean. Anyway, after I talked about that on the air one day, a bunch of American companies that do that kind of work got in touch with us. And these are great people who really wanted to accommodate us. But the cost of the American-made boxes, 5 times what we pay for the boxes we get from China. 5 times. I mean, that's a huge difference. And that was after figuring in the tariffs. So again, I mean, we're just a small business. We did have our best year last year. This year's shaping up to be even better. But we can't afford to quintuple our box expenditures. So I don't know. What do you do?
Yeah.
All our ingredients are American. You know, it's all baked in America. We have all American employees. But what do you do about this situation? Really, you have three options the way I see it. You can just pay it and absorb the loss and have that cut into your profit so much that it's not even worth it to keep going. You could increase the price of the product, right? You pass the increase along to the customer, which, because these are gourmet and handmade and we really care about the product, we put out. In fact, I think they're an incredibly good value, even though they're a little bit pricey. But yes, they're somewhat pricey already. So then you pass that price on, it's even worse. So the second option is to raise prices. We really don't want to do that. So the third option, get your boxes from China.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you do as a small business owner?
Every small business has to.
You have to make that decision.
Go through this thought process.
You do.
It's an impossible decision.
It's really hard.
You mentioned the tariffs. Did you see that President Trump told the EU that they would move the tariff deadline back to July 9th, I think it is? And I don't know if that's what's...
that 50% tariff, right?
Yeah, I don't know if that's what's lit a fire under the Dow Jones futures today. But so far, the futures are up 524 points.
Oh, I bet that is behind it, yeah. Yeah. They like the free trade thing, or at least the less tariff thing.
Right.
So,
of course, we do have that new strain of COVID that is threatening to grind society and the economy to a halt.
Geez.
Can you believe they're pushing this again? This new strain and COVID. Look out, everybody.
Oh, man.
So that's,
they want to make that work,
sure
don't they?
I'm surprised, though, because what election are they trying to interfere with this announcement?
I don't know. Maybe get ready for the midterms?
I don't know. It's strange timing for the election year flu.
It is. Yeah, it is.
Who's going to fall for that again? Do you think your friends and neighbors, your family, going to fall for that stuff?
Most people I know aren't going to.
Okay.
Not this time.
Better not.
Not this time.
Don't you do it.
Although I do see the mask thing starting to kick back into gear. So maybe it'll work with some. I don't know.
I saw Buc-ee's people wearing masks.
Really?
So, yeah. Down by...
the one in Alliance?
No, Madisonville.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, Huntsville. It's Huntsville. And I was like, ugh.
Were the Yankees driving through that pulled over at Buc-ee's, or were these Texans, do you think?
That's a good question.
That's true.
Yeah, they might be from somewhere else.
Okay. All right, never mind.
Yeah. Never mind.
Because she had
California.
The older lady had the mask that makes you look like a duck, and it was in pink.
Oh,
and I'm
wow.
like, okay, this is a customized duck
brother
mask.
A custom mask. Okay.
That's
I know
great.
exactly what I said.
Next time you see that, just follow him out to the parking lot. Not stalkerish, but just to see what license plate is on the car.
That's fair. That's fair.
All right. When you subscribe to Blaze TV, you're not just subscribing to a channel, watching content. You're supporting a movement, and you're backing creators who think for themselves and who speak boldly and refuse to be silenced by big tech or corporate media. You're supporting investigative journalism that exposes corruption and original documentaries that shine a light on the deep state. So it's everything the networks won't show you, delivered on your terms, on any device, anytime you want it. And it starts at just $8 a month. So it is a really great value for you. And when you use my promo code PAT at checkout, it's 26 cents per day to stand with a platform that stands with you. So if you're ready to keep winning and shop your values, then please go to Blaze TV right now. blazetv.com/Pat. Subscribe today. That's blazetv.com/Pat. Promo code Pat. You'll save $20 right now off your annual plan. blazetv.com/Pat.
You're listening to Pat Gray Unleashed.
Oh, no, this can't be. America's sweetheart, Mary Lou Retton. Olympic gold medalist, Mary Lou Retton. Arrested earlier this month for a DUI in West Virginia? I can't even imagine that.
Hold on, has it been too long? Can she still play the Do You Know Who I Am card?
Oh, I think she could, yeah.
Okay,
I think so. Although she won the medal in, 84? So it's 41 years ago. It's been a while.
Yeah.
But she was arrested in Marion County, West Virginia, May 17th for driving under the influence of alcohol, controlled substances, or drugs, according to records posted online. She's 57 now. Wow. Facing one misdemeanor count of DUI, and she posted a $1,500 bond the same day of her arrest.
Yeah, she's been having some health issues, or I remember not too long ago. I can't remember what it was, but it was not good. It was
really.
She was hospitalized for something.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I have to look that up.
Wasn't drug use, was it?
I don't think so. I think it was an actual health issue here. Something about her lungs. Let's see. Scarred lungs.
Oh wow.
Required daily oxygen.
Wow.
This was 7 months. Here's the quote. Here's the headline from the story is dated May of last. So exactly 1 year ago. Mary Lou Retton gives update on her health. They still don't know what's wrong with me. The legendary Olympic gymnast still requires daily oxygen for her scarred lungs 7 months after being hospitalized.
Wow.
I don't know.
Wow.
Yikes.
Shoo.
So yeah. Oh, she had. She was in intensive care in October of 2023. Man, yeah, it doesn't. It just says a serious illness. They don't know what it was.
Weird.
Gosh.
Yeah, that's too bad.
I hate that.
Also, Democrats are continuing to flounder. They're trying desperately right now to win back young males after calling them toxic for how many years? How many years were males terrible, awful, bad for society, should go away completely? Now they want them. They still don't know why they lost so badly to Donald Trump. They can't figure this out.
The winning formula is having David Hogg as your spokesman, though.
Exactly. That's a winning formula for them. I mean, and what are you going to do as Democrats when women finally realize that you've sold them out to the trans movement? That, you'll protect men pretending to be women every day, all day, over actual biological women. When women find out that you've allowed their safe spaces like bathrooms and locker rooms to be invaded by men, and their sports to be taken over by men, and in fact you refuse to even identify what a woman is, eventually they're going to lose women too. And then what are they going to do? Hopefully flounder for the rest of their existence, because they can never win a national election again. Right? I mean, everybody knows that, I hope. Because that's a deadly formula. Just a Democrat being in office, in the office of the presidency, would be deadly to this country. And so they'll continue to wonder, what happened? What's wrong? Why don't Hispanics love us still? Where are all the black people? Where are the women? Where are the young men? Yeah, they've all abandoned you because you suck, essentially.
There you go.
All right, and now we've got this we've got this Islamic situation going on in Texas.
Oh yeah,
still.
Amy Mack posted this. She's always tracking the Islamic takeover of Texas, here in Dallas especially.
From Marxism to Islam? This was a big Islamic
yeah, isn't this interesting?
Event?
I feel like this is something like Glenn talked about a long time ago.
Yes, and he was mocked for it.
Right, the aligning of what you would never perceive as allies, but boy, if they have a common enemy, America. Ta-da. Look at that, from Marxism to Islam.
The revolutionary road to
Allah. There it is. They had a nice gathering here. He's got the camera on you if you want to.
Isn't that interesting? Right there.
And there it was here in Metro. It was just about 2 weeks ago here in Metro Dallas. They had this gathering.
And they're excited about it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they got the Marxist fist with the crescent moon. Good stuff.
Join us as we hear from two former Marxists who chose Islam. And did they combine Islam with Marxism? I hope so, because that would be a great combination, wouldn't it? Imam Rahim Ocasio.
Wait.
Is that Ocasio like Cortez? Is that
I don't know.
Imam Rahim Ocasio Cortez?
I don't know.
Alexandria's dad?
I think that's dad.
Yeah, okay. Imam Jihad Abdul Mumit. So those two wonderful speakers will be at this event. Or did it already happen?
Yeah, it happened a few weeks ago.
It already happened. Oh.
I know.
I
hate it too. Pissed me off too when I saw that. Crap.
Now we find out.
I would have so gone there.
About the Marxism to Islam event.
I'm sure there'll be plenty more, especially when they control everything.
Yeah.
Around here.
And they're trying. They're doing their darndest. But fortunately, all of that stuff's been put on hold, right? I mean, Abbott Governor Abbott has been involved in this. The U.S. is involved in this.
Once Abbott got cover from the Department of Justice, then he's like, "Oh, I'm going to tweet about this now." All right. So, I'm sure they've got it. I mean, don't you feel safe?
Oh, yeah, it's under control.
Everything is...
it's totally under control.
Yeah.
I do feel better that the U.S. Justice Department is involved in it. I do feel better. Pam Bondi knows about it.
Yep.
And that they're monitoring this situation. And hopefully we'll keep it all constitutional. I mean, if you want to have a community where pretty much anybody can attend and you're under the Constitution of the United States of America, that's fine.
Remember the HOA dues were funding the mosque.
Right.
Or what was it?
That's true.
Yeah, it was like part of your
80%
monthly payment. Yeah.
80% went to the mosque.
Holy crap. Yeah, that sounds
And as
legal.
they said, no Christian will want that to happen. So that's how they keep the Christians out of there. And they were laughing about it.
All the roads are named after Islamic conquerors. Dummies.
These maroons here in Texas, they don't know what's coming.
Yep. And here's how you get your project greenlit. You make sure that you have Billy Joe Bob Jones, who everybody knows here, push that stuff.
And that's exactly what they did.
Yeah.
Yep. In fact, they hired.
Smart.
Was it Ken Paxton's attorney? It was somebody's attorney that everybody knows, and they hired him to do their dirty work for them. And that's how they get around this stuff. And they just pay him an exorbitant rate, and he'll make a lot of money and do all the filing for them, and it'll look like, well, that was Billy Joe Bob.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
He's not even Muslim.
And by the time you realize it's already gone through like three different proposals and steps.
Yep.
You mentioned Ken Paxton. I'm telling you, does anybody get the feeling that John Cornyn is going to win in the primary against Ken Paxton? The momentum that Paxton seems to have, at least on social media, is that he is going to run away with this primary.
I hope that's true. I hope that's accurate.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
But this is Texas, and we're not really red.
Yeah.
So who knows anymore?
Who knows?
But it's looking interesting. It's going to be very interesting to watch that primary.
All right, we have an AI here, thing that aliens visiting the Earth, all done by AI.
Yeah, we might have to do that in overtime. Don't you think? You want to fire it right now?
Yeah.
All right, this is all AI made in 8 hours by one guy.
Okay.
Panic is spreading worldwide tonight as the arrival of the unidentified vessels triggers states of emergency across every continent.
They're here! They have come for us! They're gonna kill us!
Don't look at me like that. I paid for this cheese. Also, does it matter? We're all gonna be dead anyway.
Attention. By order of the National Emergency Act, martial law is now in effect. All civilians must remain indoors.
I'm telling you, it's just a hologram. Government cooked this up to keep us inside.
Imagine they come in peace. No lasers from the sky. Imagine they come in peace. Just hovering in the sky.
To everyone struggling out there, stay strong. We're all in this together. Stay grounded, stay human. Lead with love.
Did you add sugar?
Okay, guys, I snuck past the military and I'm literally under the alien.
Well, maybe we finish this in overtime. None of this is real.
Yeah, it's all AI, made in 8 hours by one guy.
All right, let it go. This is amazing.
Now, if this gets 1 million likes, I'll go beyond the fence.
All right, folks, time for the Meet Aliens TikTok challenge.
I mean, can you tell?
Light it, genius! Oh my God!
They are
you know this would happen.
For us. Oh, anyway, you can learn more by buying my brand new online course, Learn How to Channel with Aliens.
In breaking news, governments worldwide are voting to choose the smartest person on Earth to represent humanity and make first contact with the alien vessels.
Pop entertainer Glitzy Vondrax has officially nominated herself to represent humanity in first contact with the alien vessels.
Entertainer Glitzy Vondrax cited her brief suborbital spaceflight and, quote, totally eye-opening experience as qualifications for the role.
Honestly,
So
I feel like this
great.
is my moment. I've been mentally preparing to meet aliens ever since I did my trip to space.
Katy Perry reference
war
there.
is breaking out on Earth.
World War III continues tonight following the global failure to agree on a single representative to contact the alien vessels.
Negotiations collapsed 6 months ago as nations refused to back down from nominating their own candidates.
This is incredible.
I think they're leaving.
I think they're leaving.
The aliens have seen
Serious?
enough.
That can't be.
Okay, they've had enough.
Yeah.
All right, see ya.
They don't like us anymore.
They're gone. The ship's gone. We made it.
Look at all the
This
damage.
is insane, man. I don't even know what we're celebrating, but we're still here. So yeah, the aliens waited 6 months for us to pick the smartest person on Earth. Honestly, I don't blame the aliens for leaving. Because if I saw Earth trying to agree on anything, I'd leave too.
All right.
There it is.
Wow.
Good stuff.
That's incredible. You said it created that in 8 hours?
That's what it said. 8 hours, one guy.
Amazing.
And there you go. You got a 3-minute short video there.
Wow.
Incredible.
All right. More coming up on Overtime. See you then.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.